So we're asked to graph this function in Newton, and I think there's a few things that it really is looking out for. Looking out for, the two dots, I think in particular, to be plotted, but it's also probably going to look for a vertical asymptote. Okay, and the vertical asymptote is real quick. There's a trick you can do. You just look at the inside of the parentheses that are next to the logarithm. And x equals 3 is what would cause 0 to happen inside these parentheses. You can't put 0 in the argument of the logarithm because 4 can't be raised to a certain power to get out 0, right? So that's where the vertical asymptote happens when this equals, when the inside of the parentheses equals 0. So you should make that dotted line, I think it's a red line in Newton. It should be right there. And then you'll want a few other data points. So let's try plugging in something a little bit bigger than 0, something bigger than making 0 in the parentheses. So instead of 3, we'll plug in 4. If you do that, 4 minus 3 makes 1. And the logarithm says, what power do you raise 4 to be to make it equal the inside of that the parentheses, to make it equal the argument? What power do you raise 4 to be to make it equal 1 in this case? And that's 0, right? So 0 minus 1 gives us -1 for a y value. You can get these exact dots by going to desmos.com/scientific. It's not a real good mathy way of doing it, but it'll get you through. So 4 on the x, -1 on the y, there's a dot that's supposed to be on our graph. We need another dot. So I'm going to plug in 7, and that just comes from an understanding of logarithms. Okay, because a logarithm is talking about powers of 4. If you want to have integers come out of a logarithm, you want to be talking about something you can raise 4 to the power to make it equal. So 7 minus 3 makes 4. 4, and then a logarithm of base 4 says, what power do you raise 4 to be to make it equal 4? And that's 1. 1 minus 1 makes 0. Alternatively, what you could do is you could play around some numbers. Just Google search different base calculator logarithms or something like that. Okay, you want a calculator that lets you plug in different bases for your logarithm. There's tons of free ones on the internet. But this means that 7 on the x-axis, we got 0 on the y-axis. So you should be making a curve like this once you get those 2 points.